Now boarding Anguilla Air Services passengers with direct flights to St. Kitts. Round trips are only $284 US. St. Kitts taxes and fees included. Come, experience the magic. Best price, best value, best service. A new chapter in Caribbean connectivity is here. Come fly with Anguilla Air Services today. From the breathtaking views as you lift off from Anguilla to the warm embrace of St. Kitts as you touch down. This service is more than a flight. It's a bridge. A bridge for families, for business, for culture, for adventure, and for strengthening the ties that unite our beloved region. With daily departures, Sunday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. from Anguilla and 9:45 a.m. from St. Kitts, and on Saturdays, a 2:30 p.m. departure from Anguilla and a 5 p.m. departure from St. Kitts. Travelers now enjoy a more dependable, smoother, more enjoyable way to commute between these two vibrant destinations. Whether you're exploring heritage sites, engaging in regional commerce, visiting loved ones, or simply traveling for leisure, Anguilla Air Services is honored to be part of your journey. Experience the magic. Fly Anguilla Air Services. Tickets can be booked at the counters in Anguilla and St. Kitts or online at your favorite booking engine. For more information, visit www.anguillaairservices.com.
Every day we're faced with choices: to spend or to save, to delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future, because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Wake up, worship, walk in purpose. Start your day grounded in faith with morning devotions with Serenade. Uplifting worship, powerful reflections, and encouragement to strengthen you for what lies ahead. Join us Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m., right here on Freedom FM 106.5. Anointed mornings, empowered days.
Feet on the floor, but my heart looking high.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Minds, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM Sundays at 4 p.m.
Get the Freedom FM app now. Just search Freedom FM app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and start listening today.
decision. Nubian is the right decision. You need to make a better decision. He will always be there by your side. Nubian is the right man. He will take the problems off your damn hand. Mr. Queer, Nubian is the right man. He will take the problems off your damn hand. You need to give it away. On election day, you need to give it away. And don't you give it away. You need to give it away. Nubian is the righteous, don't give it away. Give it to the man. Nubian is the right man. He will take the problems off your damn hand.
It's 1:48 right here in the studios of Freedom FM. It's a Tuesday afternoon, so it's time for Hot Topics live right here on Freedom FM.
And
So.
listen, you know, this from last week to this week, all the topics them live and lively, you know.
Live and lively, vibes can done. All in the streets. Everywhere you walk, you're hearing Pam this, Pam that, and whatever. So, no being you know that we had a very serious topic to speak about this afternoon.
We did?
Yeah, somebody sent me a topic first to speak about this afternoon.
What's the topic?
Me ain't telling them because we ain't talking about that.
Okay then, cool, no problem.
Because, we have to address the hot topics. There ain't no hot topic. We
Correct.
want
Well,
hot
well,
topics.
may know what the topic is, but I know there are
It's a hot
top-
topic, but it ain't hot enough for today. So, we can put that back till next week.
Okay then, no problem. We'll address it next week.
And we can address some of the hot topics.
Correct.
So, remember last week I introduced Mr. Grill as the deputy leader. Let me turn down my phone because I anticipate a lot of messages are going to come in because,
Or what to ask him and what not to ask him.
not really that, but,
Okay.
people comments and all kind of things because people are very in tune in Pam these days.
I'm telling you.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, it's a good thing. Just say every publicity is good publicity. So we're
Yes.
going to take all of it.
Okay. So, last week I introduced him as the deputy leader, the deputy political leader of the People's Action Movement. One of them
Correct.
there too. He's
Yes.
one. So, this week now, well, you were here last week with the other deputy leader. You see how
Correct.
fast things are going?
I know.
So now you're back. Last week when you were here, we mentioned that we were going to speak about the hot topics then. But there have been some updates and the topics kind of hotter now.
Correct.
So, we're going to leave that alone because that done gone. But yesterday, we got the statement from the People's Action Movement saying that the political leader had chosen in the person of Natasha Shani Gray Brooks, and she's here on Fridays, so
Right.
we'll get her take on the situation as well. But saying that she had chosen to step aside for a strategic realignment of the party, and we commend Mrs. Natasha Shani Gray Brooks on, really choosing to focus on what she wants to focus on
Yes.
at this moment. So, Nubian, what's your take? Because, the people tune in to hear what you have to say on the matter.
I know. But this is one of the topics that I know would come up today, outside of the other one in the other hot topic in Nevis with the container with firearms and what's not and what's not,
Yes.
which I was requested to try to get some clarification on it. And I don't know if in the near future we could have that discussion with parties from the law enforcement to understand how it works, because some people feel as though it's a double standard. You are not even allowed. I heard a part of the press conference, and in as much as I could say, well, okay, cool, you could get a pass on this one, there are persons that believe that if it was a regular Joe here in St. Kitts, a regular Kittian, me and your child, the
If it was
explanation,
me and your child, if it was me and you.
the explanation wouldn't matter. And even someone brought it up and said, well, Nuben, you was charged with possession and intent to supply. Nobody tried to get your explanation before.
Okay.
And so nobody tried to figure out, well, why you were in this situation. but other persons was afforded that opportunity to explain, well, I brought them in and it wasn't nothing illegal because I wasn't doing, in my mind, I didn't thought I was doing anything illegal. The government requested that I attended these events. Representatives of the government called me, sent me letters, listen, come here and come there and come there. And not at that point in time, everybody said, well, I'm just doing my job. The police them come, they said, I'm just doing my job. May resist because, as I said, I did not feel like I was doing anything illegal. And so my explanation didn't matter.
But you were charged.
I was charged. And if it goes wrong, I could be convicted with a police record that I've never gotten when I was young and frivolous. Now I'm old and more stable. I'm getting a police record. So with that said, persons in my constituency feel as though there's a double standard and it should be one rule book that plays for all. No, as I say, in as much as I could understand, well, person wasn't trafficking arms and guns and ammunitions and what's not. What about our people here who are caught in those sort of precarious situations?
What does trafficking mean?
Trafficking is when you cross borders, one border and into the next. That's how I feel.
Okay.
So the person, based on the explanation I saw, it wasn't smuggling because they were declared and a letter was written. I have written letters. I have consent from PSAs and other government ministers to engage in what I was engaged in. But an explanation wasn't asked of me. You understand? And so that is something that we could either discuss later on today or next week.
And I'm kind of happy that you raised that because this past week, because as I mentioned, the People's Action Movement is so much in it. The news this past week is so much, a trending topic on social media. I've seen people come up with that argument as well. And people are mentioning that court matter. And, really saying all sorts of things because I guess too with your election to the office of deputy leader of the party as well, people want to rehash all sorts of things.
Well, his name is Fleming. Why Fleming?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but he did not really mention anything about. He didn't say anything about you in his most recent commentary, though.
Okay, because I know him and Edinburgh. That is trying to take the shots.
Okay, so there was.
No one again.
So there was a program last week, Thursday. No, last week, Wednesday. Wednesday, and Mr. Edinburgh was here, and I'm certain that he's listening, so he could call in.
No, don't tell him. Edinburgh don't call in. Edinburgh do not call in.
But
do not call in.
They were discussing the situation in PAM according to them, from their perspective, because I don't know. Are any of them members of the People's Action Movement at this point in time?
They are not. They are members of the failed Labour Party.
So they were discussing the situation in PAM, and I remember calling you to seek some clarification because if I am going to hear comments about, Nubian is people pushing Nubian out of PAM, well, I'm going to call Nubian to ask him, well, who pushing you out?
Correct, yeah.
Right? So we touching on all kind of things and we're answering the questions.
Right.
So first, the leader stepping down. How do you feel about that?
It's a decision that she made on her own. It's a decision that, and as it said, to create that sense of strategy with constituency and other matters and allow leadership for someone else. And that's it. There's a lot of rumors that a statement was put forward, and that is the statement.
Okay. So now I want to touch on the statements that have been put forward. I noticed I said statements. Because every 5 seconds somebody sending something where Nubian Griot is being mentioned that, because he's from the ghetto, quote unquote, or he's a grassroots candidate, he's not wanted by the People's Action Movement. or some fractions within the People's Action Movement. Have you felt anything of the sort?
To be frank, and I'll be as honest as possible, I don't know what else to be. In coming to PAM initially, people would say, he come from PLP, what to expect, and there was a bit of reservations.
And that's understandable.
Correct. But as persons see my work ethics and what I stand for and how I go hard on a normal daily basis to go out and speak to people about what I, Nubian girl, would want to do, and my strategic alignment with PAM, what that would be, what that would create in Central Bastia, and not only in Central Bastia, but in St. Kitts on a whole, I get in love can done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
this is from the People's Action Movement executive and the members of the People's Action Movement.
Correct. Listen, all facets. Let's
talk a little bit about the people, because you've been canvassing for some time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, taking over Nubian sure, but I'm asking him the questions that people have been asking.
Yes,
and he's here for, so we asking him. Yeah. So you have been canvassing for some time on the ticket of the People's Action Movement. You've been doing house to house visits and all of that. Have you felt any inclination that PAM supporters don't want you to represent them?
No. Listen, I, like last election and this election, I don't discriminate as it pertains to houses, because we are all persons, and even if you are labeled as a labor before the election, after the election, you become my responsibility. After the election, you become my responsibility, because I would have taken an oath to make sure that you could live and breathe and be comfortable in St. Kitts and Nevis. So I go to every home, whether they say there is strong Labour, whether they say there is strong PLP, whether they say there is strong PAM, I try my endeavour best to go to every home and speak to everybody about what I would want to do and what the party represents on a whole. The ideologies that came down from Simmons and Billy Herbert and everybody coming all the way down to me at this point in time in Central Bastia. So I've been working in my constituency a long time. A lot of people know me, and a lot of people know what I stand for. And so I don't pick up enemies over politics. You decide, well, listen, I'm going to vote for Labour, I'm going to vote for a different party. That's okay. As I say, in winning, you become my responsibility. You have an issue, you could always come to me. And I make it clear. No problem, you want to choose that way. Just not understand that if it goes in my favor at the end of the day, I will be taking care of you. Mm-hmm. And that is it, and that is all.
So you have not felt any kind of animosity
no.
anything of the sort?
No.
So with the leaders, she's still the leader until Friday.
Yes, she's still the leader of the People's Action Movement.
With her resignation, people are now asking what's next for the People's Action Movement. Who will become leader of the People's Action Movement? Who is the present leader of the People's Action Movement? So can you clear up some of... I think we already cleared up one until Friday. Natasha Shani Gray Brooks
she is the leader until that
Friday.
Date, correct.
So what happens next?
What happened next?
Will Nubian be the leader of the People's Action
Oh,
Movement?
well, I will address that, because I've gotten a lot of calls as it pertains to that. So after Friday, the chairperson and the two deputy political leaders will be in charge of the People's Action Movement. So Miss Jacqueline Howell, Mr. Azad Gums, and yours truly will be in charge of the People's Action Movement in terms of providing leadership. No. Begin from the first, I believe, to somewhere in the month, we would be accepting nominations for a political leader for the People's Action Movement. So we could vet them, see who they are, see if they could provide the type of leadership that we had in the past and even better it in the future. And so during that space of time, persons who are interested could put their name forward. We already have persons who are interested, and if you feel like you're interested, then you could put your name forward. And so until then, we would get a new political leader. As it pertains to Nubian Greer, Debbie second child, taking over the People's Action Movement, I have been working in my constituency since I came back from Cuba and understood what education meant and what the position it placed me in my community to offer assistance. I've been leading the charge in certain areas in my community, so I consider myself a leader. But you have to be able to understand that, well, for me, I am green politically. I am just coming into the People's Action Movement. There is a lot of things to learn about how to lead successfully a political party. And so I don't think that I am ready to lead any political party. I mean, we have the best example here. When you look at immaturity, lack of direction, lack of leadership, being green politically, not understanding how to effectively help poor people, we have the perfect example in the Labour Party at this point in time, And we would need to be able to choose a leader for the People's Action Movement that is strong, that knows, that has a sense of direction, that has experience in cabinet and in parliament, and providing real options for the forever. Go back to that. So for persons who has that experience, who have that knowledge, who have the drive and the zeal and the desire to help poor people, put your name forward. But I have most of those, but the experience and the resources and other things that is necessary to be a good political leader or a good prime minister, I don't think I am there.
Because when you're speaking about the political leader of any party, you are basically vying for prime ministership. Right?
Exactly.
You want to be the leader of the country, and you have to have a certain level of experience.
Yes.
And strategy and all of those things come into play.
Yes. Yes.
And
alliances, strategic alliances.
Exactly. And becoming the leader of not just a party, but a country, the nation.
Yeah. And a lot of decisions rest on you. You have to multitask in many different ways. You have to be able to have a really, really good understanding of the direction in which you want the country to go. And be relentless about it. Be creative in the ways that you provide opportunities for people.
And I commend you for that decision, because it's easy for somebody to be guided by their ego and say, yeah, I could be the next prime minister.
Exactly. Listen, you know what? I'll be frank. I am popular enough to put myself up and probably win. But it's not about popularity. It's not about the title. It is about making sure people can survive in this country. You need strategic alliances. You need resources, not in terms of money, but this person out there that you could get this from, that person out there that you could rely on for certain help or opinions or whatever it is. And to be honest, I don't have that as yet. And so why would I out of personal interest, go and pursue the political leadership of PAM and do a disservice to the people.
Do you think in the future you will, though?
Probably.
Eventually.
Probably. Yeah, probably. But for now, it's not on my agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll prefer, and it's not even an ego problem, I'll prefer to allow those who have that experience to deal with it and learn from them. And wait until my turn come. And so by the time I step into that area, I step into that position, and I hold that position, I can do the best for the people of this federation. Main up into title, it ain't what I'm out for right now. I just want to be able to make sure I could set a new standard for what people can expect from a politician in Central Bastia, because I've seen Central Bastia slide down a slippery slope for years. We need things in Central Bastia. We need help, we need guidance, we need leadership, and we haven't gotten that in years. I would always say, you know, and he's a Labour man, but I'm impartial when it comes to those things. I've seen Dwyer Astafan saw personal conflicts between certain groups in McKnight, and he came out and resolved those issues personally. He ain't sent nobody to do it for him. He came himself. Being in Malone Avenue, see him going through Charlie Breadfoot Alley to talk to a certain individual between there because he had a situation going on with somebody else, and he personally went through the alley to talk to them. I said, "Boy, that's good." As a youngster, looking at it and saying, "But the minister, come through the alley, come talk to them and to try to deal with the situation."
But, you know, a lot of people will feel like, you know, I'm a minister of government that is below my standard.
Well, you see, all they would say just press 911, let the police deal with it. But there are other ways to deal with things.
We have also seen people in Central Bastia who have, you know, contested elections and disappear on Central Bastia.
Oh, yes.
For,
yes.
You know?
Yes.
Win, lose, like you just disappear. So all the issues that you've pointed out, all the things that you said needed fixing, you didn't wait in your seat, so they need fixing again.
You see, because we always choose, and I would attest that is a Central Bastia problem, but it is not limited to Central Bastia.
No, it's not. But we live in Central Bastia, so we know. You see,
and it is the process. You as the let me not use you. Me as the political leader of a party would say, well, let me choose Jamie because Jamie is well known, and let me choose Frank from Info because Frank, mother is a big Labour, and he's a young doctor, and he's aesthetically pleasing, soft on the eyes, and you know people would vote for somebody like that. But has Frank been in the community doing anything before?
No.
Has Frank been involved in the school? Has Frank been involved in a book club? Has he involved with anything socially to uplift his community? And so we're going to choose Frank because they say vote for Frank, and Frank has never been involved in anything, and we're going to vote for Frank. And then we say, well, Frank was out canvassing, and Frank tell me he gone. But have you ever seen Frank before?
You know, I was speaking to a lady the other day, and she said to me, we were speaking about politics in general. It wasn't anything to do with any particular party. And she said to me, Jeremy, you know, sometimes I don't understand why people get surprised that people don't show up. Like these politicians don't show up for them. Because we know these people are not nice people. So if this person never, ever, ever, ever been nice, they've always been a selfish person.
Yes.
They never cared about the community. They don't even care about their family, much less community, much less the country.
First time you talk to them is canvassing.
And you vote for them, and you know they're not nice people. What you expect them to do, change?
Yes. There was never people person to begin with. So, with that being said, do you expect them to come back round by your house? Do you expect them to answer your call? Because they answered your call because they were obligated to, because they wanted your vote. How much of them you could call and say, why, listen, X, Y, and Z, and they help you think and come up with a solution to your problem. Not much.
They don't care about your problem.
That's why you see.
They don't care about your problem.
Listen.
And if you don't care about the problem, why would I want to come and help you solve your problem?
That's why you see I can sit here today and name out few politicians that did not have to fight for the seat. That ain't had to go all out again every election cycle to fight for the seat. There are very few. Because to be a successful politician, for me, in my books, you have to first be a people person. Helping people gotta make you smile. Helping people gotta bring joy to your heart. And once you don't have that, and your ambitions are other things, you want to fly on plane every day, you want to be able to go down in government headquarters in a three-piece suit on a daily basis, you want to get a house, you want to get money, you want to get status, you're in it for the wrong reason. Because there are thousands of people in St. Kitts suffering that need your help. And you're there for the wrong reason. And if it's not bringing joy, then you're there for the wrong person. You're there for the wrong reason. Sorry.
And one of the things that I can say is that we've been doing this for some time. Hot topics, I mean.
Yes.
And institutions and political parties are failing ordinary people. And the thing that hurts me the most is that majority of the politicians, we don't have a situation in St. Kitts where we have this huge elite class and these elite people are leading us. We have a situation where our politicians come from among us.
And that, listen, right, that stat is so on point and so real that we feel like, well, he or she, because I can't, let me don't use he alone or she alone. He or she come from through the alley with us. Mm-hmm. So they understand the problem. Mm-hmm. They could identify with the problem.
And they would want to help us solve the problem.
They choose the position so they would help us solve the problem.
But then no, they don't care. And that is the sad part about it because, and I've said this to you, I don't know if I've said it on the air, but I know I've said it to you. There has to be some sort of self-hate.
Yes.
Because how could I look down on the very people I came from? How could I look at people who came from the exact same background and feel like they are beneath me and they're not good enough, they're not worthy of my assistance?
Right.
If I could ever take that stance with the people who I came from, mm-hmm. then it says that I have a problem with who I am and where I came from.
Yeah.
There has to be a certain level of self-hate because that could never happen. You could never be comfortable with where you came from and not want to champion the cause of those same people.
Listen, right? If I never met persons personally like Sean Richards, Dr. Sean Richards, people like Dwyer Astafan, Sam Conda. I mean, one of my first interactions was with Sam Conda. As a young engineer, one of my first interactions was with him, and I thought he was giving me a doggy. And it went so smooth and nice, and I was happy that I saw a difference. And after that, I couldn't label all politicians the same because he was a stand-up guy. And I've seen Dwyer Astafan did the same thing in Central Bastia.
Somebody said they come from among us and craving elite life.
Yeah.
But if I am and there's nothing wrong with craving an elite life, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to stay where they're from. Well, some people, but majority of people don't want to stay. But
it's what makes us happy at the end of the day, Jamiela. It's what makes us happy. When
we grow, we have to pull others with us.
Listen, Jamiela, it's what makes us happy. A lot of us, that elite life makes us happy because we know with the Joneses.
Mm-hmm. So you're with the Joneses, but you forget your family members.
Right.
You forget your neighbors. You forget the community that raised you.
Too easy. For other people, what makes them happy is seeing other people happy. What makes them happy is knowing that there was a part of the solution, not the problem. What makes them happy is to lie down and say, bye, in your time of reflection, I helped 4 people today overcome whatever situation I was going through. Today was a good day.
There were very difficult situations in Central Mass there. And I can say that I have seen you step up with some of those difficult and dangerous situations. And there were no cameras. It wasn't for a photo op. And I saw other people show up and basically say hi and bye. Like, yeah, I just come to say I was here.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just shows that people don't really care. Because if we're talking about situations that are dangerous, and when I say dangerous, right? And people can just show up to say, hi, I was here.
Yes.
It shows that you don't really care what happens tomorrow. You don't really care whether or not these people are alive or dead tomorrow. You just want to know that, I mark my name kind of vibe.
Yeah. And that was what's been happening. That has been plaguing Central Bastia for about 15, 20 years. That has been plaguing Bastia for about 15, 20 years. And as you rightly said, I've been in situations that I cannot say on the air, but no cameras was there that changed how we live in Central Bastia.
Somebody asked people like, why don't mix me? I said people. I said people for a reason.
Yeah.
But I'm not lying. People show up. A lot of times people don't really care, especially politicians, and no offense, but it's true.
But that's
a lot of times politicians don't really care, There's a situation happening and I show up, be it a funeral, a wedding. Generally speaking, it's like sad events because they like to capitalize on them things when people vulnerable.
Grief. Yeah.
So you show up and you I'm here for you and that kind of thing. So when you're going to vote, you remember. But they really care. They don't care when you lose the breadwinner of your family. So you really think they're coming to bring any food for you or help your children? If you lose your husband or the father of your children or anything, school opening, you really think they're helping you? They don't care. They just want to mark the presence so you see them. And many times at these funerals, you realize they make sure that they come to touch you. So you know.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so a lot of them, you see them in church every Sunday, that every funeral, every wedding, and walking with a camera, and everywhere they go, that is what they're on. But ask them to give an account of how many lives they touch. Ask them to give an account before politics. Before you decided to run.
But even
the last
after
4,
they started
5, 6,
to
7
run,
years, 10 years before politics, where were you?
But even after they started to run, that is not any meaningful contribution to anybody's life. You're not doing anything to help people.
Yes.
You're just showing up for the sake to say, well, I was here.
Yeah.
So better you don't come.
Exactly. And always with a camera in your face.
Exactly.
Because they need receipts.
Yeah.
They're going to the events just for receipts, And I'm saying I've been in areas where
you couldn't carry no cameras.
You can't carry no cameras. You cannot carry no cameras, and made hard negotiations, hard deals with people just to bring peace to McKnight and Shadwell and Newtown and Village and all around the country. And you cannot walk with no cameras. Sit down late in the evening having conversation with people just to try to bring a sense of peace to St. Kitts.
Cry.
Of course. And I ain't had no reason to be there but love for the country. Because while I come out and say, well, he said this and he said that.
You can't.
Exactly.
You can't. You can't share those things.
A lot of times the responsibility of us choosing the wrong people rests on us. because we have to be able to vet people. We have to be able to see where they're coming from. We have to figure out what their expectations are of you and what their expectations are of me. We have to be able to figure out, honestly, would this person abandon me the day after the election? Would I be able to see them the day after the election? And a good indicator of what they would do is you ask them, what we in 2026, how old are you? What were you doing in 2005? What were you doing in 2010? What were you doing in 2015? What were you doing in 2020?
And generally speaking, if they were never there for you, they ain't going to be there for you in the future.
Okay, then
because
cool.
people don't care that much.
Of course not.
And if they never showed you that they cared before...
Right. Why should they do that now?
They don't care. They don't care. You see people come and pick up and they're really playing on your emotions and playing on your desperation. And it's sad. It's sad somebody said... And this goes to what I'm speaking about. Somebody said same elites end up using them as footballs for their monetary benefits because there are some people, no matter who in power, they're supporting them. And we know because we live here. The person says, not me, and the polls again. Same script, different cast. And that is what you're going to meet. That is what you're going to have to contend with when you're canvassing, Nubian, because people... I had a program this morning and I spoke to the same thing. People fed up. You see politicians every 4 years coming in front of your house to ask you. Like one guy asked me this morning, he told me that he can bring a politician like by me. And I said, please don't. Don't do it. And he like, so what you want? I'm like, boy, may I want nothing, don't bring them. You know? Because we have grown so accustomed to the fact that people come and make us promises.
Yeah.
And we have grown accustomed to the fact that, you know, when you hear people talk, like when this person says this, you're supposed to go and offer her maybe a piece of land that she ain't going to ever get. Or a piece of house. Not a piece of house, but a house. And she ain't going to ever get a house. Right? So she could change her mind to vote for you. But how many times will that work? How many times are we going to believe the promises? Like if you come in and promising me the same thing every 4 years for like 20 years, they're going to come a point where may want to see nobody.
You know what politicians do? And it's only after somebody sat me down and explained it to me, I understood what it was. What politicians do is spoon feed you. Mm-hmm. They have the ability to give you a plate of food, you know. Mm-hmm. And according to Ike, give you a whole sugar cake. Mm-hmm. And you melt it quick. Because I need you back here next week.
I need you to come back.
I need you back here next week. I have seen situations. I understand, you know, if the politicians really wanted to, they would. They could make a phone call that could change your life significantly. Mm-hmm.
But you know what happens?
But they keep stringing you along.
And then, you know what happens? You have this narrative where you hear poor people who actually need help as well, or maybe was in a position 5 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, or however many years ago, where they needed assistance, say, oh, then you're not supposed to be helping them because they're too entitled. Yeah. And people lazy, and people this and people that. Hello.
But are people lazy just a labor thing, yeah? But continue, Carla.
Ain't just labor, trust me. Ain't just labor, because under unity, people used to say that too. But people lazy and don't study with them because they just want to beg you. You ain't going to beg them your vote. Like, okay. You ain't going to beg them to vote for you. Your responsibility is to make... I'm not saying that any politician is supposed to go out and, you know, give away money. That's not what we're talking about, but we're talking about creating opportunities so people could live a better life.
Exactly.
Stimulating the economy so people can afford to buy the things that they need to live a better life.
If that is not our sole intention, we're in the wrong business. We are in the wrong business. Listen, Jamie, I have no call in politics. I'm a successful engineer. I don't got a lot of children. Them are okay enough. I could live on any administration. Mm-hmm. I have no call in politics, but I am here to help people. to make people's life better. That is what gives me joy. That is what make me wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and say, you did it yesterday, boy, and smile. Bend me backwards to help people and smile at the end of the day. That is the joy that I get from it. Money, I don't make me little money.
Something, but I think I was going to put you on the spot. I'm not going to share that, guys. But but we're going to take a break.
Most definitely.
And we're going to open the lines because we know that you guys want to interact. But remember, we're going to keep it respectful. Just remember.
Yes, we have to keep it respectful because we ain't disrespecting nobody. You know what? Just before you go on the break, right? Last election, I went to a family close to where I live. Lot of people in the house. And I know them. And they say, boy, we can't vote for you because a vote for you is a vote for somebody else. And da-da-da-da. And they're like the other person, da-da-da-da. But I'm the type of person that don't look political enemies. We could disagree without fighting over it. And so, and at this point in time, I went back home.
You don't look enemies?
Of course not. We don't use enemies.
You know why I said that? Because me.
You don't look enemies? Well.
Because there are certain things I see people say about you, and they're like, boy, that could never be me because I will never speak to them again in life. And I've said it here. Like, you ain't going to disrespect me in certain ways. I feel like we're friends. Don't call me your friend. We ain't doing that. But you, I guess maybe it's the, you know, you tend to be different. You tend to be forgiving.
Listen, it ain't even about being forgiving. It's about my expectations on people. My expectations on certain people are very, very low. So you don't disappoint me. You don't surprise me. That's how it is. Listen, right? I learned that the hard way the last election. Last election I went hard for a woman and making sure that certain things was in place and what's not. And the day after the election, the woman abused, did this and that and tower out of me. And I said, what? And listen, that had me depressed for a couple of days and I had to shake myself out of it. And my expectations, because I help you, I feel as though you would have helped me. You know? And so.
No, I just expect people to be decent human beings. And my expectation is that, you know, people often say, oh, nobody owes you anything.
Yeah.
I think that's bad-minded people that say them things. Because you owe me to be a decent human being. If I am being nice to you and I'm being kind to you, so
right.
Why you have to kick me?
I'm
not kicking you. I'm just expecting you to be a decent human being.
Correct.
So, yeah, you owe me that.
Yeah.
And that's just basic.
Yeah.
So if I am, like, my friends, I don't have anything negative to say about my friends other than to my friends.
Correct.
And if it is that you dogging me out and whatever, then you're my friend.
Yeah.
And we don't need to have any conversation going forward. And that's the beginning and the end of the story. Me and playing that with nobody. But then again, I am not asking anybody to vote for me.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, as I said, I spoke to this family. It's about 14 people in the house. And I said, why you can't do this? But I still remain friends with them. On election day, I saw them, hugged them up like normal. You disagree with me, doesn't mean that we're going to be enemies. And for being that way, I went back and canvassed the same.
And disappointing this time?
And they said, why, you know, we never vote for Pam before, you know. But seeing what's going on now, we can't go the next side, but we will come to your side. Last Christmas, when all the family came in from overseas, they had a discussion on what's going on, the state of our economy, the state of the country, and they would give me all of them decided that the only choice in Central Bastia is to vote for Nubian. So I am happy for that. So we could take a little break now.
We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Make your way to the NEDAX Cultural Complex on Monday, August 3rd at 8:30 p.m. for the spectacular 2026 staging of the Bank of Nevis Miss Caribbean Culture Queen Pageant. Witness an unforgettable showcase of beauty, talent, culture, and intelligence as Caribbean queens compete for the prestigious crown. Cheer on Nevis's reigning Culturama Queen, Renee Davis, and St. Kitts' reigning National Carnival Queen, Treasure Didier, along with an outstanding cast of Caribbean royalties. But the excitement doesn't end there. Your ticket also gives you 5 chances to win the Bank of Nevis $5,000 raffle, with 5 lucky winners each taking home $1,000. It's one incredible night packed with entertainment, glamour, and the chance to walk away a winner. General admission is just $50, or upgrade the VIP experience for only $350. Don't miss one of the biggest nights of Culturama 52. Be there.
And she's royal, yeah, so royal.
Friday's calling, and it's calling for a Guinness. Every Friday, it's Guinness Happy Hour at Champions Bar and Last Lap, 5 p.m. to 6:30. Buy one Guinness, get one free. 2 stouts for the price of one. 1 hour and a half. 0 excuses. Guinness. Drink responsibly.
Back to school shouldn't meet you unprepared. St. Kitts Credit Union's Back to School Loan helps you borrow up to $10,000 with flexible repayment plans, fast approval, supportive terms. Invest in your child's future with confidence, because every child deserves a strong start. Start today at www.skccu.com or call 465-2272. SKCU, invested in their future with you.
From St. Kitts and Nevis to the world, Freedom FM 106.5 FM. FreedomFM1065.com.
Every day we're faced with choices to spend or to save, to delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future, because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Now boarding Anguilla Air Services passengers with direct flights to St. Kitts. Round trips are only $284 US. St. Kitts taxes and fees included. Come, experience the magic. Best price, best value, best service. A new chapter in Caribbean connectivity is here. Come fly with Anguilla Air Services today. From the breathtaking views as you lift off from Anguilla to the warm embrace of St. Kitts as you touch down. This service is more than a flight. It's a bridge. A bridge for families, for business, for culture, for adventure, and for strengthening the ties that unite our beloved region. With daily departures, Sunday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. from Anguilla and 9:45 a.m. from St. Kitts, and on Saturdays, a 2:30 p.m. departure from Anguilla and a 5 p.m. departure from St. Kitts. Travelers now enjoy a more dependable, smoother, more enjoyable way to commute between these 2 vibrant destinations. Whether you're exploring heritage sites, engaging in regional commerce, visiting loved ones, or simply traveling for leisure, Anguilla Air Services is honored to be part of your journey. Experience the magic. Fly Anguilla Air Services. Tickets can be booked at the counters in Anguilla and St. Kitts or online at your favorite booking engine. For more information, visit www.anguillaairservices.com.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Mind, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM, Sundays at 4 p.m.
Get the Freedom FM app now. Just search Freedom FM app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and start listening today.
Wake up, worship, walk in purpose. Start your day grounded in faith with morning devotions with Serenade. Uplifting worship, powerful reflections, and encouragement to strengthen you for what lies ahead. Join us Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m., right here on Freedom FM 106.5. Anointed mornings, empowered days.
Feet on the floor, but my heart looking high.
And we are back. You realize we didn't take a long break today because we wanted to hear from the people. Nubian, you had a comment?
Yes. Somebody said here, I am enjoying this straight, frank conversation with Nubian and Jamie. I only wish that Jamie will talk like this when July is here. We all know that guy July needs a reality check real bad.
Okay. So I've seen these comments and I assume that they're speaking about the Prime Minister. So I've seen these comments over the past few weeks. I host talk shows with the People's Hot Topics is not a People's Action Movement talk show. Let's start there. This show started before Nubian was with the People's Action Movement, right? So let's start there. I host talk shows with the People's Labour Party. I host talk shows with the St. Kitts Needles Labour Party and the People's Action Movement in the person of Natasha Shanigwe Brooks. Now, I've seen people try to compare and contrast those shows with Hot Topics. You realize Hot Topics has a different feel. It has a different energy because Hot Topics is not a political talk show. Nubian and I have been friends for a long time, and we come and we discuss things. It's not scripted. In a promotional show, we ain't trying to, it's not a structured program like those programs. There's nothing wrong with those programs. Yeah. I enjoy those programs, but for me to have that kind of conversation, the Prime Minister having them kind of conversation with me? Let's be for real. The Prime Minister having them kind of conversations with me? Correct. He doesn't come for those kind of conversations. Yeah. He comes to update the public. And we do that. Dr. Harris, he comes to update the public on the topic that he wants to speak on for that day. And we do that same thing with Shani, and I'm going to call her Shani because she said we could call her Shani. Yes. Right? So people need to understand that there is a difference and try to relax. Rest me down. Let's go back to the phone lines. The numbers to call in are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're live.
Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon, sir.
And good afternoon, my friend Nobian.
Yeah.
Nobian, I
What's
want
up?
to tell you congratulations because I'm hearing some things and I just hear you mention about deputy leader. And I smiling to myself, and you know the reason why we wouldn't just on here. But I hear you say something about Fleming. No, being as my friend, don't go down the road. Fleming got all right to speak.
No, I asked
like
I
you,
asked if it was why Femin she was referring to. I didn't say anything. But go ahead, brother.
When I hear you say why Fleming, I say, why Fleming come out the belly and work hard for the people action movement and get damage, Blanchett, Welch, Louis. I could call a few and get damage. They ain't say, watch it. You ain't say work hard like Blanchett and Fleming them. And you reach up to deputy leader. So you should give thanks. These men have worked hard for the people action movement. I'm not kicking the butt and show away. So when I hear you trying to mention things, I ask as a friend, take it back and move on. No.
But
no,
caller,
Wait.
caller, wait.
Oh,
Lord, wait, no?
Go ahead. Lord, I can't speak. Go ahead.
No, but you made your comment, so I'm now giving.
Wait. No, hold on,
it's
my brother.
It's
Hold
okay.
on.
This
Hold
is
on.
not a program where we limit callers to a particular time.
Miss.
No, I made a comment and he was asking me if I was speaking about Roy. I was not speaking about Roy at the time, but Roy did because Roy did make some comments here about him. Right? So he thought that is what I was speaking about. At that point in time, I wasn't speaking about that, but we did address the comments that Roy made.
Listen, hold on, Big Steve. Hold on, let me just tell you. Last week, me and Mr. Fleming had a conversation like for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, there is nothing personal.
A different kind of conversation?
No, political conversation. Okay. Me and Roy Fleming is not enemies. I just said I don't look enemies.
Okay.
I do not. Me and you is big friend, Big Steve.
Yeah,
come on.
We're not personal.
Of course. And we will never get disrespectful with each other.
No, I will never do that.
Never, ever, ever in a lifetime.
Okay, caller, go ahead.
So, I just want Jamie. Allow me, Jamie.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
No, Ben, you were speaking about Labour people, Peg. I think Jamie had to pull you up and tell you, Labour people. Beg, you said, hold on, you said, Jamie, you said, when politicians come back for your vote, so what happened if you beg them? Remember that?
No, I did not say that. I did not say that, brother. You tell me, say that. I said that there is a narrative that has come from some Labour people that does say, saying it's people lazy. And she said, a lot of people, it ain't only Labour people, a lot of people that say so. Other people outside the Labour people that say so. That's what I said.
Okay, no problem. Let's go into politics quick. As the person deputy leader. No, Ben, you're still a member of the people. I mean, the PLP. Remember you said, hold on, I want to answer this. No,
I'm just laughing, brother. Go ahead, man.
You said, hold on, you said you have 2 tickets. You're a member of People Action Movement and you're a member of the PLP.
Can I answer?
And you said, hold on, you said that there is no reason to give up none of them. You belong to the people, right?
Yes.
So I'm asking you if you still hold a membership card for the PLP. I want to ask you that, and then I will ask the next question.
Okay, let me answer it. Today, what did it be, Jamie? The 28th of July. 28th of July, 2026. I am a member of the People's Action Movement. I'm also the deputy political leader of the People's Action Movement. I hold no allegiances with the People's Labour Party.
So you resign? You basically left now?
But my resignation was public. Hold on, I'm telling you, my resignation was public.
When you resign now, kind of question behind this, you know?
No, my resignation was public. I can't remember the date, sometime in 2022. My resignation was public. Come on, Big Steve, come on, man.
The membership,
the membership, I just never renewed it. Hold on, man.
2022, come on, no, have your record. Oh, let me play, come on.
Play, let me hear it. Play. I said play, let me hear it.
Come on, no, let's move on to somebody else. But no, hold on, no, But I'm saying, no, right?
Yeah.
As the People Action Movement deputy leader.
Best party in the land. Go ahead.
It's strange to see that you said Timothy Harris was the best party, and now you're saying no PLP. That is what I keep telling you, no, Bian.
You told Asim Martin that's it. Did you tell Astafan the same thing when he said PLP that team was the best? Yes. Did you tell Sam Kanda that? Did you tell Samal that? Did you tell Samal that when Samal said he was the best person?
Samal didn't want on a ticket. Don't miss orange and apple. Samal didn't want on a ticket, no, man.
All right,
hold on, no, man, before you go. I want to say this here. It's amazing how the People Action Movement is so weak. And you have realized it. Because you was a member of PLP, then you went in the belly of Janel Powell Jepito, and then you take all the information, you become a candidate for PLP, and then now you switch back over, and now you say you come the deputy leader. No, man, have a good day, bye. Have a good day.
Yeah, man. Bless up yourself, Big Steve.
The numbers to call in are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546.
And so, Most of the time, Big Steve is my partner, you know. But most of the time, Big Steve calling, Big Steve got the same narrative. Oh, well, you still got this and you still got that. And you remember you did say this and remember you did say that. And that's I had to ask him, what about when Dwyer Astafan said that same thing? What about when Sam Conda said that same thing? What about the country in 2015 when they said, listen, we want out Labour, vote for unity?
Somebody says, tell Nubian there's a difference between disagreement and disrespect. You are so correct. No one should disrespect you, and are you still friends?
Okay.
Okay, then. Can you turn on your radio, please?
Good afternoon, Jamie, and good afternoon, Nubian.
Good afternoon, sir.
Nubian,
hey.
I think that caller just now there, he's supposed to address the situation of what's going on in the Federation right now. You know, the hardship we're going on under his party. Not calling and challenging you about who you're this and who you're that, what you do and what you're that. That is your personal business. Whatever political party you want to run for and whatever party you want to join, you join and do what you got to do. Because you're a Kittishan, you're a born Kittishan. You know? The ills and the aches and the pain in this country, that's what we got to talk about right now. You hear all kind of thing about the destiny. And with the Prime Minister and Mark Brandt and all those signing off with whatever. And the people on the ground ain't getting the full story of what's going on with the destiny program. And I want to commend Peter Ajan, you know, because he bring out Charlotte a light in the destiny program thing, situation. And some next station in Nevis will bring it on. I think I Saturday send the come on and I'll listen to them too. And this is the thing we want to know because listen now, under the farm administration with Dr. Denzel Douglas, most of our land gone in the CBI program, sell to all kind of different investors come in and a lot of failed projects. Look at the La Valley project. Look at the White Gate project. This is thing we're supposed to talk about. Look at some of these. Look at the Beacon Heights. A lot of things are going on in this country where poor and now we ordinary people who in the sugar industry could have got land to raise out animals and farm and plant mountain ground and get food over to our children and grandchildren to come to eat. How our poor parents used to eat back in the time. He went and changed all of that. In any country, you got houses. You must have houses because people want a house to live. But you want land to plant, food to eat too. You want land to raise livestock farmers, livestock animals. Look at, you don't drive to go across the Ross and all these places in the country.
Yeah.
You see the amount of animals that parade the road? Up to some cattle get not down across the bypass road and stop here and the start to smell it. And I made to understand that the Ross people have not got to go take it up.
Yeah.
This is the pain of the country people want to know about. People like Bill getting cut, people getting out of job. Foreigners come in, as soon as they reach in, they get a job. You see them in a uniform, you see them in this, you see them in that. You see them in that. And because of what? They're trying to put up all kind of foreign nationals to come in, put up the list with them in different constituencies to win the government. That is any party who said they love the poor people of this country. Lubian?
Yeah.
But we got to stop, look and listen.
Right.
If you're gonna want to cheat the system, bring in people from overseas to come more to the people, national woman here. So you're telling people that you fail the people. So you're just cutting up yourself. Lubian, if an election call to that tomorrow and nobody coming, the foreigners coming come out, even people from overseas. Whether PAM or PLP going to win this government hands down, you know. Because the people make a fed up with Labour and have nothing to offer to the people. The Labour days are done, Labour expired. They expired in this country. No, for factory start, this and that they start, project they start, and this project can't complete, they can't bring nothing forward yet. They say hospital, they say school, they say this, they say that, and nothing coming off the ground. People up and down want work to do. The most work going on, in the private sector, with a man trying to build a little house in the construction field. Anyway, you all have a wonderful day. God bless. God bless this federation of St. Nevis.
Okay, caller, thank you. Thank you so much for that contribution. Let's take this call. Good afternoon. You're live.
Good afternoon. Yes, I think we're going off mark, in terms of what we're talking about in terms of retail politics and what we should be doing to really help people and so on. Right? It really doesn't matter that how the dust settles in terms of who is who and, which party switch and who flip-flop and so on. Over the past election cycles, we've had a lot of that on all sides. Okay, so it makes no sense, for instance, one day in about where Nubian was and where Sam Conda was and how people react to them changing and which side Brantley went to, and that's immaterial. That does not help. It's clear that our politics have become very transactional and that the politicians themselves are very transactional. And so they're going to go wherever they see. It's almost as if it's opportunistic. And that is so unfortunate because who loses? The people.
Carla, I wanna kind of challenge you on that, right? Because I've heard that argument, and I've heard people say about, and I'm not speaking about you necessarily, but I've heard people say, them people are flip-flops, and, you can't trust them because what do they stand for, right? But, and I kind of feel like you're alluding to something similar, but in the way I see it, and I could be wrong, but the way I see it is, if I am a part of an organization and I feel that that organization does not align with my philosophy of governance, be it helping people, because a lot of them ain't care about people, majority of them, all of them kind of shaky on that, in that regard, right? Mm-hmm. I may want to shift somewhere else where I feel like these people are more people focused and people centered. Is that necessarily a wrong thing?
Well,
because it doesn't make sense if I am one of 8, right? Because there are 8 constituencies, and if I am one of 8, and I realize that I fight in 7 people for every. I remember one time I was on a committee, and I don't really want to get into details because other people were on the committee. Right. But there was a situation about paying somebody a certain amount of money. And the other people did not want to pay the person because they figured the person wasn't worth the money, quote unquote. And my thing was, well, if everybody getting paid X, why you single out this person and decide that he doesn't deserve that? Just because of one thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I was fighting against the entire committee. So you know what I did? I eased out of the way. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't going to win that battle. But I figured that my talent and my service was better aligned with another organization and on another committee. So can't that be applicable within government?
But tell me something. Which do you think is better? People making those kinds of decisions on who's on committees and who get what, etc., on the basis of political affiliation? Or do you
it wasn't. That committee had nothing to do with political affiliation. What I was saying is, I felt the decision was unfair. It wasn't anything to do with politics. I just felt that it was unfair.
Fine.
And I found myself in a position where I was fighting for somebody who I did not even know. But I was fighting for this person because the decision that they were making was unfair. Because
why was it unfair?
Because it was not the same across the board.
And Exactly.
Right?
Right.
So,
Precisely.
if
and
you know why it was not the same across the board? Because the person who I ended up fighting for was considered to be more vulnerable. There was somebody who did not know much better, so regardless of what you were going to give them, they would accept.
Right.
And I felt that was taking advantage.
Everybody can relate to that, right? And what you're talking about there is basic fairness.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is, what we long for, generally speaking, is what we call a meritorious society.
Yeah, but that ain't really the issue, Mr. McMahon. The issue is, what I am saying is, should I continue to fight with people who don't care about people? Or should I align myself with another organization who is more in tune to the needs of the vulnerable?
And I'll tell you this.
And is that considered flip-flopping or lack of loyalty?
Jamie, you yourself just made the comment that pretty much all of them are the same. So if that is the case, then on what basis would you do things?
These people seem to be more willing to make a shift.
Do you really see a huge difference between the parties as far as that is concerned? Be honest. Do you really see any huge difference in ideology or in even policies generally? You do?
Well, listen, right, Mr. McMahon, for me, right, what happens is that every party have a slogan and a speech and a this and a that they're going to put out, and a philosophy that they're going to tell everybody. And so this is the philosophy. We're going to empower poor people, and we come out of the trades and labor union, and we it's people focused, and we are people centered, and we for poor people.
But a lot of it is on paper.
It is the candidates that you choose in each constituency that represent the party that is the downfall of those specific political parties. Because I've seen good candidates in St. Kitts.
And I suggest to you, Nubian, it ain't just the candidates, that it goes deeper than that. There are people below the candidates who are just as vicious.
Yes.
Correct. No, I said that to say, and as Jamie just put out she disclaimer, may nobody come for me. I have seen politicians in St. Kitts, and I could, as I just said, I saw Dwyer Astafan come in the community and fix certain problems that was going through. I've seen Sam Conda in certain situations, and I could go on. I've seen Douglas in certain situations. I've seen Timothy Harris in certain situations. I've seen Sean Richards in more situations than the others because of the proximity. But politics hasn't failed us. Politics hasn't failed us. Is those politicians that come into politics for the wrong reasons is who give politics a bad name in St. Kitts. There are people who are people-focused and want to make sure that people get through.
See, and Jamie, I'll challenge you on this too. What I'm saying is, right, at that level, it should not come down to a personal touch with individuals, because every individual in the country have their needs.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you with that. I made that point. I did make that point. I said when I'm speaking about caring about people, I'm not necessarily saying that you're supposed to give anybody any money but you provide opportunities so that we all can live better. Because if we are all doing better, then there isn't as much strain on the government, right? You provide ways in which people could get jobs. You stimulate the economy.
Make a living generally, whether it's by private
exactly.
business or
So I am not saying that you go to anybody and tell them, oh, well, you know, if I win, I'm going to give you $500 or $1,000 or that kind of thing.
No, that is exactly what.
But no, we don't want that, because at the end of the day, you give me $1,000 today, somebody could come tomorrow and take it back.
But
we want real
that is
opportunities.
Exactly what is being practiced now, and that is what we need to get rid of.
Exactly, and that's the point that I was making. We want real opportunities where nobody come. And nobody spoke about the spoon feeding.
Yes.
We don't want that as a people. Why must we be a welfare society? We don't want that.
But Jamie, you realize that is what have been happening for the last couple of cycles, right?
Yes, and that is why we're talking out against it.
Right, and you realize even with the new administration, it's continuing, right? And the point is, right, to bring this back to what has happened in the last couple of days. The reason why this continues is because nobody is articulating a different type of politics. Nobody is talking about governance issues, holding politicians and policies accountable, right? Nobody's talking about that, and that is exactly what we need. Otherwise, we'll always continue to practice the politics the same way. We have to hold politicians accountable. What we have now is pretty much what they're essentially doing is communicating policies and narratives and so on, and it's all about style and, flamboyance and photo ops, as you mentioned.
And entertainment.
Entertainment, exactly. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the politics. That works. And nobody is explaining to people that there's a better way. Yes. Right? It's just the same old. So coming back to what has happened in the last 2 days, let's hope that out of this, when the dust finally settles, there is stronger opposition. Because if there is not strong opposition, you can bet your life that they're going to double down on what they're doing now. Next election, let's say Labour get in the next election cycle, you can bet your life it's going to be more of the same. Because as far as they're concerned, they receive the mandate from the people to continue doing what they're doing. And so this is where opposition comes in, to point out the alternative, to make sure that people have a real choice, that people see there is a better way, and stop the same old.
Yes.
That is what we need. And so hopefully, whatever happens in whether it's convention or caucus or whatever you're going to have.
We have a number of caucuses coming up, and we have convention coming up at the 27th. And I agree with you that we need, as you rightfully pointed out, a new way and a better way, because we cannot keep changing the same khaki pants and it's the same person wearing it, reaching anywhere.
And this is why the people don't want to vote.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. You agree that does not help, right?
I agree, but I also understand why. Because if you're going to tell me that I am going to vote over and over and over for the same thing, I'm just getting the same thing, different faces, as the person said, same script, different cast. I'm getting the same thing over and over and over again. Why I must go out to publish on myself?
It's not it's a fundamental right and responsibility.
That leads you to publishing yourself when
vote, Jamie.
When these politicians playing in your face.
Well, so then look.
I am not disagreeing with you. I am not saying that people should not vote. Go and vote. But what I am saying is we need to ensure that our system is better.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
If the current, and in my opinion, it's always the government that is in power now, who have the resources and the and everything else to change the system. And if they don't do it, so you change the government.
But the sad thing, right, is, and I've said this before on groundings, maybe not here, but the government in power don't really feel the need to change the system, because you know why? The system benefits them.
But then that is why the people should pressure them. That is why opposition should pressure them. That is why Natasha Gray didn't make an impact or has had to resign when she realized she's been ineffective. You can't have a quiet opposition. It makes no sense.
And that is why the people
you
are so...
You can't have Brantley being basically on the government side and say we have opposition. That is obviously not helping us.
And you know what's not helping us either? The docile people that we have living here who accept anything. Let's start to lobby the government for certain changes. Yes. Let's start to ensure that politicians understand that we hire them and we can fire them.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I don't think that they realize that.
No, they don't. They don't.
No,
we create
loyalty.
Why
they don't realize it? Because you put them back in the next time.
Because and you know why? And you know why we put them back in?
Simple.
Because we're loyal to party and not ourselves.
Is that true, though? Don't you find that that's less and less so?
I find it's changing, but it's not changing fast enough. We're loyal to party and we're loyal to our own cause.
I think it's changing fast. That is why we had to change the government.
Not fast enough?
The fact that people, well, maybe they might not vote for the other party. They might stay home according to you. But that makes a difference, too. Right? Yeah. The mere fact that a lot of PAM people, for instance, either switched to PLP or stayed home, that made a difference. And the same thing, you get the same thing now. I mean, Labour is not, I would say they have their own problems as well. Okay?
I thought you were going to tell the truth there just now, but go ahead, Carla.
He did tell the truth.
You said they won't have their own problems.
Well, they have their own problems.
They have their own problems. They might don't play it, but they have their own problems.
Of course.
And there's a die-hard faction of the Labour Party, and there's this new faction.
Okay? That's what's happening?
Well, that's the impression I get. And the fact is, if there's tension between them, we don't know what the disaffected Labour supporters might do. Okay? They might just stay home, just like how Pam did. I really don't think, just like the politicians aren't loyal to nobody, I don't think the people are that loyal to the politicians or the parties as before. But we'll see what happens.
I don't think I agree. I don't think that they are as loyal as before, but I think that there are some who remain loyal still.
Yes, and especially the Labour arm, the Labour diaspora vote. And so a lady made an example. She said, imagine if you're here in St. Kitts voting for the little 500 and then Labour bringing a lot of plane, people coming in that on food stamp and voting for you not to get your 500.
I find all your other timing bad, you know.
No, but I mean, seriously, there are those kind of little idiosyncrasies. Those kind of
I find y'all also timing bad.
You know, and that's the whole point. Once ago, things was so much more predictable.
Correct.
Elections and so on was so much more predictable.
You're doing bad and you know that you're going to get voted out.
No, you're doing bad and you know you're going to stay.
No, but back then...
Back then you don't used to stay?
No, but nowadays you could do bad, and then once you got enough money to bring in planes, you're good.
But that's the whole point. I'm not sure that is going to obtain next time. Right? We really don't know.
Okay? Anyway, Carla, we gotta go.
You know, okay.
Because
all right, then,
I don't want to get fired.
I thought you were the boss.
But she's the boss, you know,
I
but
have
she's
a
just
boss.
Yeah, we think we all have bosses, not the politicians. Politicians don't think they feel they are the bosses, right? And that really needs to change.
Poor people is with boss.
Okay.
But we don't take it serious.
Thank you so much. And it's always a pleasure to have those conversations because, you know, sometimes people will be looking for us to have these conversations where I provide a rubber stamp or you provide a rubber stamp for what we're saying.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a conversation. It's
Correct.
an interaction.
Mhm.
Nobody up here is no puppets.
Exactly.
Right? So you can't really tell. You want me to do it?
You don't
want
work
me to
out.
do it?
Just try this week, and if you work out this week, then next week we ain't gonna do it no more.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. I hear you talking something about how politics being thinking. Are you thinking it's going to change?
We
Is it
hope.
giving out 500? Are you thinking it's giving out things and promising things
We hope.
to the voters then?
We hope it'll change.
Because that's how they see, that's how we voters see, and that's how we politicians. That's how we think they think it, you know?
Yeah.
I just say, no, you don't want nobody to give 500 and somebody come and take it back. But it's going to continue. Some are get black, some are get steel, some are get wood, some are get all kind of things, and then all they will think because the politicians don't give that. They feel that's with the people, and that's until the next election.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. It's not changing. To me, not changing. It's not changing. And these new people who come in as politicians, they're going through that because they think that's the way to win. By promising the people.
Yeah.
This is a big thing to stop because it's done gone through, you know, it's done gone. Because you know, man, of Brother and Simmons, most with them kind of thing there today happening. It's a big change. And I don't know how to stop it because you come in and you look, a politician called me the other night while at home here. And I tell him, when you're campaigning, don't promise so much things. You know. But if you're promising, somebody must say, yes, say nothing. That's the point about it, you know. You're going to promise where you promise where you don't got. You're going to offer people where you can't afford. That's what we want to win people. And then people say, well, they want something. And then you say, well, people like some hand out. Who started hand out? The politician started.
It's true.
My mother never used to get none from labor. They never used to get none from labor. No, today, all kind of things they get. Man, I get black phone, I got land and all. You want to hear more? Man, I get window, who no got house. All kind of things that are real. You laugh, but it's true. I see it happening.
No, I laugh because you said people get a window and they don't have house.
But that's what I tell you, all kind of something, man, I get. Give them all kind of something, give them work here. Eh? One I tell me when PLP, the last them PLP, when I tell him I want to kind of thing, he said, go and get a voucher paper of business priorities and so on. When I go, he tell me, well, he can't afford to give me again, and he can't this and he can't that.
So, Carla, you
understand?
participating in it too?
Yeah?
You are participating in the process too?
Well, yes, because if me is an old man, and people who just start to vote, I get this and I get that.
You're supposed to get two.
And me got to get two. And if you ask somebody now, you'll be able to ask somebody when you come out the program to vote for them, they're going to ask them what they're going to get. We all are thinking no ask what we're going to get. That's what we're doing. And so people tell you for the vote, they got to get something. And so we voting, come and think it, you know.
I understand.
I said voting, so we don't know who's going to stop it.
Well, I don't think anybody going to stop it, to be honest.
No, you ain't going to stop. You ain't going to stop because you continue. Because as I tell you, the world now gets better now, and that's a part of it. The world is not getting better. We only starting out in this.
Okay, caller, but we hope that we'll see a change, okay? Thank you so much. That last caller didn't turn out so badly this time. So, Nubian, any closing words? Because we are out of time. We're over time.
Yeah, so the one of the hot topics next week we kind of run out of time today.
The guns? The guns?
Yeah, so next week we'll probably have a discussion on that and get a feedback. But there is our political leader who has stepped down from political leadership, and as she rightly outlined, it is a strategic move. You heard that, well, other political party pushing, Shani this and Shani that and Shani Tower and the other. It was none of the sort. None of the sort. In consultation with the party and different areas, she just decided to make room for somebody else. At some point in time, Billy Herbert was the leader of the People's Action Movement and made way for Simmons, and Simmons laid way for Grant, and Grant made way for Sean, and Sean made way for Shani. So there is transition, and there is smooth transition. Just the same way after Bradshaw, who was there, Limor and then limo made way for.
That was before my time.
Correct. Limo made way for Douglas, and Douglas made way for Drew, and Drew soon gonna make way for somebody else. So it's just the motion that political parties go through. Well, tell me, the news is turmoil in PAM, and that's where you see the Labour narrative putting out chaos and turmoil in PAM. When Drew took over from Douglas, was it chaos in Labour? Drew took over, and that was it. Douglas wanted somebody else. Would Douglas prefer somebody with a little more experience? Probably yes. But that's what he got. And so the country is where it is at this point in time as a result of that. So with PAM, there's a smooth transition. And as I say, we try to do things strategically over here because we must win to make sure that the poor people in this country, the vulnerable person in this country, can survive in St. Kitts. So, next week, we'll have more hot topics.
Next week Tuesday is a holiday, sir.
Well, we could come in and the people will tune
and
in.
And the people jamming in Nevis, nobody listening?
You sure? You sure they wouldn't prioritize hot topics over jamming?
Over jamming? No, madness.
You don't think so? You mean if Big Steve calling again, they wouldn't prioritize me and Big Steve in here chopping it up over. I can't bring in Big Steve one of these days, you know.
Well, Austin wants to come.
No, me, I'm bringing Austin. I want to bring in Big Steve. Big Steve and Fleming. Why Fleming? We can bring in Big Steve and why Fleming. We can bring in Austin.
Okay.
Yes.
Lord, poor Austin, my poor friend.
He's my partner, you know. Yeah.
I know.
Listen. Last week, made him talk outside.
Yeah, he said he got you very upset.
No, he didn't get me upset. Because he didn't know me that well, he thought I was upset.
I know.
I
said, but that's just know me on a regular Tuesday.
Exactly. Regular Tuesday.
Well, that's how we're going to end Hot Topics for today, guys.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in. And next week, tune back in and we have more conversation that uplifts us. We don't come here and blast politics every day. We talk about things that could uplift us and ways in which we could meet one another on the same level.
And we don't come to bash anybody.
Exactly. Of course not. You ever hear me talk about anybody specifically on Misha?
No.
You hear me talk about Marsha?
No. This is the first time you've ever mentioned their names.
Jeffrey. Me don't call people name. That ain't necessary. It is not necessary.
At all. So thank you guys for listening and be sure to tune in next week Tuesday. Well, not next week Tuesday. The Tuesday after next, because next week Tuesday we go be in Nevis. Mm-hmm. So tune in that one for more hot topics. It's August. The topics are going to get hotter and hotter just like the weather. The following is a paid political commentary. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect those of Freedom FM or its management.
Good day. This is assignment SKN with Austin, Edinburgh. In this edition, I revisit the issue of the Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Act. I do so because in recent times, I'm hearing persons who I least expected to singing the praises of the law. I still vividly recall 11 months ago, after the passage of the SSZA, there were 3 persons who publicly made the rounds explaining the scope and intent of the law, expressing confidence in the strong guardrails that form a part of the law. One such guardrail highlighted is the requirement that before any proposed development under the law can be activated, it must be made into a law in Parliament. That's its own law in the Parliament of St. Kitts and Nevis. And if the development is on the island of Nevis, also in the Nevis Island Assembly. This aspect of the law ensures that the general public will know what is in the proposal before it is accepted. This